Guys, I just watched the funniest comedy of the year, and it's not even a comedy, it's a horror movie called Grimcutty. Grimcutty is a haunted meme film about a monster who stalks your internet-addicted children by either causing them to cut themselves or to stab someone else. And the power of the monster comes from how hysterical the parents are. The more the parents act like they're out of a satanic panic scare film, the stronger Grimcutty gets. The whole plot could be ripe for satire. Even describing it, I'm like, okay, you've got something here that could be fairly clever. Only the movie isn't. It belongs in the forgotten bin of, well, you tried monsters, like the Bye Bye Man. There isn't one shred of this that's aware of how preposterous it is. And instead, it's written like if a group of concerned parents got together to write a movie about death metal. It's so hilariously out of touch, I'm surprised these two old guys from Ghoster didn't show up to call the internet the inner tubes. No joke, if this movie ended with a monologue inside of a church, it would fit right alongside something like Rocket's Your Decision, only if it were about internet addiction. Admittedly, the over-the-top paranoid parents are my favorite parts of this. Like when the families are all going to a jazz concert and the dads are sitting there gossiping like, hey, have you all heard about this Grimcutty? Whenever anything bad happens on the news, Dad leaps out of bed and is like, oh no, is it Grimcutty? I'm not even kidding. In this movie, they have the sex talk with their kids, only it isn't the sex talk, it's the Grimcutty talk. No joke, that's what they call it. Even the kids are written wildly stereotypical like the parents. When their phones are taken away from them and placed in a lockbox, the kids scream out, "They can't take our phones away! That's fascist!" They do that twice, too. There's another scene later where they call someone a fascist for taking the internet away. Also, the kids' red flags are like a checklist of every red flag for a troubled kid. I love when the dad gets his son's computer and says, "I've been looking through your search history. I see the dark web, the Church of Satan, necrophilia, and Columbine. What's going on, son?" That's right, this stupid movie brings Columbine into it. And it isn't even consistent with any of this. It starts out with the parents firmly believing in Grimcutty, but then later they don't. It becomes more like the town from Footloose, where they're having school board meetings and then locking the kids away if they act up during the meeting. And all of these parents are getting their advice from a mommy blog, who does factor into the plot, where the movie opens with her son getting infected with the Grimcutty curse. Later, the teens find her blog, which talks about how to take their phones away, and they're like, "What a bitch! I'd stab her too!" Oh, the monster sucks, by the way. It's just this big CGI creature, which feels like if you did a picture blend of every monster from a movie like this. But I'll say this, it remains consistently funny. The dialogue is so bad, the teens could be running from the monster, but will still ask what another meant by this simple comment left on a video. And the climax mostly has them running around the emptiest hospital since Halloween 2, except, well, sometimes. Sometimes there's a waiting room full of kids with cuts like it's an outbreak film about a meme, and then other times it's a ghost town. For a majority of the movie, I was thinking I'd give it a D, since it's not like it's boring, and Shannon Sossaman is legit good in it, deserving far better than this movie. But then when it gets to an epilogue, where a character wraps everything up by talking to the camera and doing an ASMR video, I was like, D-. And then I watched First Responders, a movie so bad it bumped this one right back up to being a D. And in terms of horror films that talk about the internet and mental health and have characters talking to the camera in a video, there's a new movie on Shudder called Sissy that is way better than this. Although, I'm not saying don't watch Grimcutty. You could just watch these as a double feature. Thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for our reviews of VHS 99 and Deadstream, and we'll see you next time.